Good morning, everyone. I just finished my breathing practice somewhere near my parents-in-law place here in Brampton. And first of all, I just wanted to share the sunrise with you because look at this. I love nature because we are all nature. And not always we can go into nature to experience the benefits of being within it, in a forest and such, at the beach. However, there's this guy, a really amazing guy, who also does amazing work. His name is Tony Riddle. And he's a wonderful dude from England whose messages, well, not everyone can go into nature, but we can all live a little more natural. It was one of the things that came up while I was meditating or doing my breathing meditation exercise just a few moments ago. The second thing that came up was it's not about how you feel, but about how you feel, what you're feeling. So, for example, one of the most stressful situations in my life right now is in my relationships related to health. I'm doing well, I'm healthy and well. My wife, Amberlyn, I don't know if you saw her video, what a miracle. If you saw her video, she is currently facing yet another diagnosis, and that's the main reason why we are here in Brampton. Here is where the very effective, with a really good history of supporting people with chronic illnesses through traditional Chinese medicine. And she's also taking a bunch of other supplements. We're doing a lot of interoceptive work, inner work, emotional work, so many different things. And that causes a lot of stress. My son, who's now almost 17, I gotta show you a video, you guys, of he's getting into playing guitar. He's such an amazing, wonderful human being. He's in Vancouver. I've been apart from him for a long time now. So it is not about my wife facing yet another diagnosis or being apart from my son, who is just everything for me, but about how we feel these feelings and the emotions that our body generates, our minds and ourselves. We're just one thing: spirit, mind and body, or soul, mind and body, or energy, however you want to call yourself, or subdivide your existence, your being. We're just one thing, right? We're one entity at the end of the day. And so how do we feel? How do we feel these stressful situations when the reaction, the emotional reaction, already happened? So for example, it's really easy for me to not be on a conscious state and just going through the process of getting things done during the day. There are routines, things need to get done. It is really easy for me to start thinking about what could potentially happen. How, for example, a very specific thing, how longer will I be away from my son? How can I change this? But once again, it's not about changing things that you cannot change. Maybe you can, but not necessarily right away in the moment. And that's the message that came this morning. It's not about how we feel, but about how we feel, what we're feeling, which case in that moment is overwhelm, and it becomes stress. If I don't notice, if I don't do anything with my overwhelm, a stressful response happens in my body. I become tense. My heart rate increases, and it increases because of that same tension. So before I keep going, I'm going for my daily morning walk. Parenthesis, Dr. Andrew Huberman, professor at Stanford University, quite famous on YouTube and social media. He speaks about the great benefit of getting natural light first thing in the morning. So Dr. Andrew Huberman, you're an amazing dude. Look at me. That's exactly what I'm doing. Do it every single day. When we get tense, back to stress, overwhelmed, becoming a stress, and what happens in our bodies and my body. Tension causes a bunch of different things. But that restriction is what causes an increase in heart rate. Our veins, our arteries constrict a little bit. They tense. When we breathe slow, when we breathe through our noses, and keep a little bit more of CO2. So what I mean is this, or let me finish that. When we keep CO2 is vasodilator, bronchodilator. When you breathe through your nose as well, there is a gas called nitric oxide. Nitric, not nitrous, or it's nitric oxide. Also vasodilator, bronchodilator. And when we have a good amount of those gases, when we slow down our breathing and breathe through your noses, that's what happens. We help our bodies create more appropriate, maybe more optimal amounts of CO2, or keep them in our bodies for a little longer. And that is what helps us calm down. That's one of the mechanisms of using breathing to address a moment of a stress response. Like in my case, if I start thinking incessantly about being away from my son, about my wife's health, and so on and so forth, stress response is feeling like you don't have the resources to deal with the situation. If it remains, it can exist along with anxiety. And anxiety is a little different, but they're all related. Overwhelm, stress response, anxiety, stress that remains for a while becomes chronic stress. I think I mentioned this the other day. So thank you for watching. Thank you for connecting. I want to tell you more about it. I want to make more videos because, as I told you before, breathwork has changed my life in amazing ways. It's not the only thing, obviously. Dealing with the stress can be, especially chronic stress, can be a complicated thing, or it can be a journey, a long journey. No matter what you choose to do. So for example, I choose to walk in the mornings, get natural light first thing in the morning. I pay attention to my hydration, to what I eat, movement, recovery, my sleep, my mind, my emotional being, cognitive part of me, it's my psychology, and my connections with myself, the spirit, and everyone around. There's a lot of things that we can do. So for example, within movement, we can go for walks like I do, we can stretch, we can do yoga, all sorts of different things. Or there are all sorts of herbal medicines or plants that help you deal with the stress, that help you with, for example, one thing that we are learning about is thyroid function and how it is affected by cortisol, which is the hormone that, or one of the hormones that is released when a stress response is activated within your body. And here is a moment of short-term memory loss. What was I talking about? The stress management. So I was telling you about the different ways that you can deal with the stress and about the many approaches that one can choose. However, as I always say, you are always breathing during any one approach you choose to use to release the stress, to lead the stress, to manage it, to transform it, to transmute it, to leverage it. I love you all. Please connect with me and please tell me what stresses you the most. What would be the one thing that if you are able to deal with the stress response in that moment, in that specific situation, would change your life? I am a certified breath coach by Yoga Body Teachers College, and my focus is using breathwork to deal with the stress because I am a very sensitive dude who all my life, I've dealt with high sensitivity, which is related to dysphoria, euphoria, ADHD, and all these other things. Breathwork has helped me prevent panic attacks. But once again, breathwork is not the only thing. I have friends who also are specialized in other ways of dealing with the stress naturally in, low cost or free, really. Breathwork is free. Once you learn it, it's forever, basically. And the beautiful thing is that you not only deal with a stressful situation in the moment, but your respiratory system improving every other system of your body, making you more resilient. Resilience is the ability to deal with stressful situations and then go back to calmness and balance. I love you all. Please connect with me. Please take care of yourself. That's the best thing you can do to support us, to support anyone you love, anyone in your family who is going through a difficult health moment, experience, diagnosis. All right, enjoy the day. Wish you the best. And I'll talk to you next time. Let me know if you have any questions.